So hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I'm sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Saadiq, and he has made it to the DR, Sasua. Y'all know what y'all men go over to Sasua and do, but I ain't going to tell Donna this business. So anyway.
Hey, I'm over here to help open the new vet center that they have for the veterans that are, here enjoying their retirement or family fun day.
Is that what y'all call it? Family fun day? It's funny because when I was over there, I didn't see nobody with their families.
You didn't look hard enough.
So anyway, y'all, this is not live. Of course, this is pre-recorded. And I will tell y'all, since I kind of seem like I'm still having a little bit of internet issues here in funky Houston. You guys will probably be able to hear me and see me most of the time. But if I glitch, that's why. So I hopefully one day I'll get this fixed. But anyway, so again, thank you, Donovan, for being here on YouTube and Facebook, the other side of the conversation, even though today is probably just going to be YouTube. Today, we are going to be talking about that. I sound like Peter Brady. I said, today we're going to be talking about the situation of Irene Gakwa. As you guys may have been hearing about in the news, African young woman is missing. So we're going to get into that and just, a whole conversation about it. And we're also, during the last half, going to talk about older seasoned men dating younger women. Is it good to do? Is it problematic? The pros and the cons and all of that. So Donovan, what say you?
Well, again, welcome to the show. It's glad you guys are with us. Do us a favor, hit that like button on your screen. Please join, become a member. We'd really love to have you here. Also, don't forget to check us out on all your podcast platforms that are out there. You can see us if you're sitting in your car and doing all that. And also we have a Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal if you so desire to put into that, because it does take time to make videos and do things. And Demetra puts out a lot of great content and information. So again, great conversation. We also love to see what you guys are writing in the comments. And sometimes we usually respond in regards to the conversations in the comments. So let's get to it.
Yes, indeed. So, all right. So let's get into it. Unfortunately, it's a situation of a young woman by the name of Irene Gakwa. She is from Kenya. She came over here about 3 years ago, to live with her brothers, because the brothers moved over to the States, to Idaho. So she was over there with them. And then in 2020, so she moved there 2019, 2020, she met a man on Craigslist. I didn't even know people are still doing that, but met a man on Craigslist, and then they ended up moving to Wyoming. And from that point, it seems like she came up missing, and that was actually the February of this year. Her parents said that the last time they had a conversation with her was on WhatsApp, the app that you can speak on. They talked to her on FaceTime and all of that. The last time they physically spoke to her and saw her, and saw her. And so from that point, they would send messages like, hey, where are you? We haven't heard from you. And the messages would come back as though it was a response from her. But they said that she wasn't speaking in her normal Swahili and Kenyan slang is what it says. Mm-hmm. It sounds like they were using like a Google translator. It just was weird from what they were saying. So that went on from like February 24th until like March something, when her people was like, okay, what's going on with Irene? Because again, her brothers, and I think her sister-in-law as well, lived in Idaho. Why do I keep saying it? Idaho. And so the last time they saw her was Thanksgiving of last year, because I guess it's some distance. And so they got concerned. And then as of like last week, is when, they was like, okay, something's going on. And of course, no, actually it wasn't last week. It was May. Let me get my facts straight. May, her family really got concerned. And then they found out that the boyfriend, I'm going to show you a picture of both of them in just a minute, but the boyfriend had withdrew like over $3,000 out of her banking account and then used $3,000 on her credit card. And on her credit card, he also purchased boots and a shovel. Now, mind you, Irene is completely missing. Now, it sounds like they had an on again, off again type of relationship. And it sounds like, for the last time, whatever, she broke up with him from what, people are saying. Now, when authorities reached out to the boyfriend, and again, I'm going to show y'all a picture. When authorities reached out to the boyfriend, He said, oh, well, she came to the house because they lived together and put her stuff in trash bags or whatever and left and jumped in a black SUV. And that was the last I saw of her. So from this point, he is considered a person of interest. And he did get charged with financial crimes against her. But that's it. So he bonded out to the tune of $10,000. So he is free. He's out. And so now the police authorities there in Wyoming, like, oh, well, if you guys have any tips of what happened to her, it's like, are you freaking kidding me? You know what happened to her.
Right.
Guys, boots and a shovel. And just so happens your girlfriend is missing. Who buys boots and the shovel and your girlfriend is missing and you ran through her credit cards, her bank account, you stole from her, and you don't know what happened to her? Now, Donovan and I aren't the sharpest knives in the drawer, but I think we can pretty much put two and two together and ascertain that Irene, it makes me really sad because she's 32 and this pig is 39. She's not that much older than my daughter. And it really makes me sad is because nobody gets into a relationship and expects to potentially die, so her family said that she was very introverted and, shy and things like that. And that they had some reservations about her coming from Kenya all the way over here because, she's shy, hasn't been away from the house like that, but she was coming over to the States to start her nursing, going to school for nursing and just kind of live her own life type of thing. And so, she's missing. And her family's like, now we're between grief and hope. Obviously the grief because it's like the probability that something happened to her is great, but hope that maybe she's somewhere and she's alive and all of that. It's a very horrible place to be in. And so they, her brother and a lot of people locally that knew her or know her, I want to say that, they formed a where's Irene.com, website and search parties and things like that, trying to come up with clues as to where she might be. But I'm going to give it to you, Donovan, because, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's very sad when you hear about this, because if she had stayed in Kenya, among her tribe and her people and her customs, this probably never would have happened. And I'm not saying, coming to America is a bad thing for some people, but, technically it is. I mean, America is not like these other countries where you have like a certain group that controls everything, whatever. We are a melting pot of groups fighting for their piece of the pie. And in this situation here, the minute the story came out and the boyfriend was the issue or a person of interest and a black woman went missing, Demetria, the first thing that came to my mind was a white man and the divestment movement. Now, how many stories have we done in regards to black women who, and you're free to love whoever you want to love. But at this point, if I was a woman, I would be terrified to be dealing with, these type of men. Okay, like I said, okay, she's in Idaho and then she moved to Wyoming, which is right next door, right? It's not a natural area for black people to begin with because it's very cold in those areas at certain times of the year. Beautiful country, but it's just cold. And she's away from her family and her natural things to protect her. And it's like it was a recipe for disaster. And what chaps my hide is if that was a black man and the circumstantial evidence showed that he murdered that woman, he would still be in jail awaiting trial without no bail. But this white guy goes to the cop and they say, "Excuse me, Officer Tipson, haven't seen her." "Oh, well, thank you very much, Chuck. We'll talk to you later. Anybody got any tips?" I mean, that is totally ridiculous when the circumstantial evidence points to the boyfriend. But this goes on in our country constantly. Me and Demetria and I were saying earlier that when it comes to a black woman, nobody gives a damn. And it's so sad that this is the continuing theme that goes on. But yet, and I'm not like blaming black women or, I'm not mad at black women, but I do get frustrated when you have black women that are the so-called backbone of the Democratic Party, and they can't even get a bill, number one, to protect black people, much less to protect black girls when you have all of the evidence that says these women need protected. You don't want to protect the black man? Fine, don't protect the black man. But Black women need to be protected. And yet these women who sit in Congress do nothing about it but give us symbolism. Maitrice Richardson, great case of what Kamala Harris as the Attorney General could do. The family was pleading and they said no, she wouldn't open the case.
Right. No, I mean, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot going on here. Of course, there's a lot of questions people have about this, whole entire case. I mean, it's not unusual for people to, go to another country to live or to explore, to see what's going on and things like that. For me, people love who they want to love. But I am trying to see or figure out how in the world this beautiful sister ends up with this dude who looks like a human pig. You know what I mean? He doesn't even look like he's got a lot going on for himself or like what. And so I guess and y'all, I'm not really at loss for words a lot, but I've got so many questions going on because it's like when Irene is coming over to the States, what did you like? I guess what I'm trying to say is this who you thought you should be with? You know what I mean? You bypassed a whole lot of other men and you go on Craigslist, because I've gone on Craigslist before, but for stuff, you know what I mean? Like a washer or dryer or something like that. But you go on Craigslist and you meet this? Why? Out of all the people in the United States you could have been with, this. And so what makes me wonder is what is going on in her mind? What was she being taught at home to where, because I know a lot of times in our race, for both men and women, we don't care. As long as it's white, it could be fat, it could be dumpy, frumpy, ugly, no ambition. It could be all of that, what we see in this dude right here, but we don't care as long as he or she is white. And so, I'm trying to be respectful because I really don't want her to be gone or dead. I'm trying to be respectful. But to me, I didn't know Irene, but this seems like there's some self-questioning and self-hate going on to where you would come all the way 9,000 miles from where you were to here to get with this blob of mayonnaise. I'm confused, and then not only is he a blob of mayonnaise, he's a blob of mayonnaise with botulism and salmonella because clearly he did something to her. And so what about this blob of 20-day-old mayonnaise did you find attractive? And to not only break up with him once, it sounds like it was a few times, so he kept going back. And listen, I'm going to be vulgar here for a minute. I cannot believe it was because he had good bedroom game, because in my mind, I see Vienna sausages. I'm just saying.
I'm going to co-sign on everything that you just said. But, okay, I'm here in the Dominican Republic, right? And it kind of, let me see if I could maybe break this down for those that might not understand what we're talking about. Like I said, you're right. In our culture and a lot of cultures, we have been taught that white is better. Remember the Brown versus Board of Education, where they took the baby doll test? They had the black baby doll and had the white baby doll. And they said that unequal education damaged the black girls because they always felt that the white baby doll was good, was better, was this, that. That is still prominent in today and in different cultures. So I'm here in the Dominican Republic, right? You will see here expats, European white men, American white men, whatever, right? They could look homeless and gritty and dungy and 80 years old, just like that man. And you will see Haitians and Dominicans migrate to those guys because in their mind, and this was explained to me like 2 days ago, in their mind, that stands for rich, stable, You could be the blackest black man with name brand stuff. You are still considered broke as far as our own culture, within our own culture. You're flashy. Those guys are always broke. If you got some sense, everybody knows if you flashing all your shit, you're most likely broke. Because I never seen Mark Zuckerberg, wearing name brand stuff. And, show me a billionaire that is wearing Adidas or Nikes and stuff. I'm sure they wear Nike shoes or something like that. But you know what I mean? Just basic stuff, So It's prevalent in all cultures. And the stuff that I see here in the DR, just me, because I like to people watch, I'm looking at some of these dudes, expats with some of these really young girls. And we're going to go into that into the second part. And you're like, why? What is it about? It's the money, okay? Better, stability, this, that. White is better. And that has been ingrained in our social conscience, not intentionally, but it's just something that white means right. White means power. White means status. Because even our brothers and our brothers, what's the first thing that they usually do? If they can get a white man, they will knock a sister over just to get to that white woman. And that white woman is coming right out of the trailer park, and they would not care. They will knock a sister right over just to get to her. It's so sad.
Yes, indeed. And the other thing too is, clearly, I don't want to say clearly, but it looks like he didn't have any money because he ripped her off to the tune of almost $7,000 between her checking account and her credit card. So there was no money there, for him to do that to her. So it's like, sister, and I'm praying to all the guys and ancestors above, and man, I don't know about below what they'd be able to do for us, but I'm praying that she's alive. Like, honestly, like, this is really bothering me. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I have a daughter not too, much younger than her, but it wasn't the money. Wasn't the money that she was with this man that had his show. It wasn't the looks. So what was it? What was it like? And then I'm trying to make sense of this because her family is telling a story that she's an introvert and she's shy. So, but then it's like, well, did you know that your daughter will go on Craigslist and look for this? You know what I mean? So was she looking for companionship? Obviously. But like, why was she looking for companionship there? Is there more to the story? Did somebody put her up to it? Like, what's going on here? Because this man is broke. This man is fat. And listen, I don't like to fat shame people. I'm talking about what I see, okay? He's broke. He's fat. He's ugly. He's disheveled. He just looks like, I don't know. He like when you got on Craigslist, I could see if you were catfished or something. Like you thought some other good-looking white dude was going to show up from his profile. But then somehow you get in the same space with this and you continue to date this dude. Like, I don't get it. So the other thing I'm wondering is at home in Kenya, because we know that there's been some conversation going on, just if you see it, whatever, between Black Americans and Africans, this Africans are better, Black Americans are better, you this, you that. But we have seen some conversation within the African community, basically saying to stay away from Black Americans, African Americans, let's say that, African Americans, because they just that and the other. So are you telling them, or she told rather, to stay away from Black Americans and white is better? If you're going to go over there, honey, and get in a relationship, get with a white man. But I always talk about this Prince Charming thing, and that when we were younger, we were taught that Prince, and I'm speaking from a woman's point of view and from a man's point of view, we were taught that Prince Charming, all he had to be is charming, right? He didn't have to have a good job. He didn't have to respect you. None of that. He just had to look good, man. And in this case, that's not the case. So I'm wondering from their point of view, was she just told, go get you any old white man is better than a Black man? What, because I'm really trying to make sense of this.
Well, and you brought up some valid points, but I'm also thinking like this. Could it be that this woman got caught up in human trafficking and wasn't going to comply, and the man ended up murdering her? Like I said, this is all speculation. We're not saying these are factual things. But, I'm not saying the people that are on Craigslist are sleazy, but, Craigslist was shut down by the federal government and in California by Kamala Harris and things like that because of the sex trafficking that was going on predominantly on Craigslist. And eventually there was a serial killer that came out called the Craigslist Killer. And so they ended up shutting down, the webpage. And of course, now you got OnlyFans and all these legal things now. You're doing the same stuff. But anyway, could this guy have been a human trafficking type person? And when the woman realized what she got into, he wasn't having it and basically, offed her or something. And I hope that's not the case. But, again, these foreigners that come to the United States, as great as the United States is compared to a lot of other countries, the United States is a vicious, vicious place to be because we are the #1 capitalist nation. And Demetria, you know economics just as well as I do. Out of all forms of economic governance, capitalism is the most brutal when it comes down to it. And it's all about the money and, hold no quarter. I mean, people are getting killed for development deals. Look at the union, Jimmy Hoffa, they still haven't found that guy. It's all about the money and all that other good stuff. And I just wish that, these women that come from these colonial countries, especially the women that look like us and are Black like us, would stop thinking like they are still colonialized and this white person should be worshipped because they're, like you said, the mere fact that he's simple white. Because I'm looking at the dude and I'm thinking either she was inherently desperate to have companionship or it's got to be something else.
Yeah, and I guess I can understand the sex trafficking angle, if you will, but it just doesn't make sense unless he just decided to finally do it. But they were together on and off since 2019, rather, up until recently. So it's a good 3 years, maybe, give or take that,
well, the average pimp and hoe relationship lasts about, 5 to 7 years or something like that?
Yeah, but he don't give me pimp vibes at all. You know what I mean? I don't get pimp vibes from this dude here. I get, pig vibes, but not pimp vibes. I don't know if I necessarily buy the human trafficking thing. I just think, I guess I'd have to know why they kept breaking up because it sounds like they kept having an on and off relationship. So I'd need to know why that was, who broke up with who and for what. But the shovel and the boots angle, what you doing getting some shovel and boots for? Because this
right, that's your circumstantial evidence right there. And that's enough evidence to hold him in custody until they figure this out. I'm appalled right now. The mere fact that when it comes to white men and women, just like that IG model that killed her boyfriend, you can walk out here for weeks and days, Donald Trump, all these people who are doing all these crimes, they're of a certain group of people, but other groups can't get away with it. It's incredible. It's a slap in the face.
It is, but that's the law. The law was built and made to protect and benefit them. But, like with the boots and the shovel thing, I don't get a working man when I see this guy. I don't see him out in the yard. Honey, I'm going to dig us a hole for a pool. I don't get that from him. He don't look like he could even get down good enough to lace his boots up every day.
Well, he gives me that Donald Trump description of the guy that's sitting in the bed 300-something pounds on a keyboard.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't, like I said, I don't know what her deal was. But I would just kind of think that she came over here with false ideas of who she was to them. And unfortunately, maybe she was taught, but see, from what the picture I saw of her brother, it looks like he's got a Black wife. So I don't know if maybe she's African as well. So I don't know. But something tells me maybe she was just taught that this was optimal in regards to everybody else that you could date, because I'm sorry, I've never been desperate to date a dude, but I'm trying to think if I ever was, he would be if it was me and him, the last humans on earth. I'm like, we're going to see who's going to go first, and by your size, your heart probably is going to give out before mine. So we just the human race is going to end with us, baby. So I don't get it, but I'm thinking some of it had to do with a little bit of self-hate, and maybe that was taught to her. Because, like I said, I don't buy that. I buy that she was shy and introverted, but I'm having a hard time of seeing how she got on Craigslist of all people. Got on Craigslist. And then you end up with this dude. I'm confused.
Well, to me, it's very plausible because Demetria, you know it as much as I do. These people from Africa, tribalism is one of the biggest problems in Africa. These people hate on each other. They're century-old enemies, whatever, right? You know as well as I know that they come over here and into America, and the first thing that they say is, "What's wrong with those American men? They're lazy. They're this, they're that, and we're better than them." And every time I hear that from those people, right, I love them to death. But the point is, my retort to them after their whole soliloquy of what's wrong with Black Americans and how lazy we are and we ain't shit and all this other stuff, I said, if your country is so fucking great, what are you doing in my country?
And not only that, I mean, if they throw in the lazy argument, I mean, this man don't look like he did a jumping jack since 1993.
True.
You know what I mean? So,
but he's white. When you go with Dwight, if you have an opportunity, you get with a white man because a white man got their shit together. It's false because, and what's really sad is there are some poor white people in the world. Not every white person is royalty and a governor and all this other shit of a province and shit like that. You have a lot of poor white people, especially here in America.
I just, I got one, how the church ladies be.
Right.
I got one of those moments going on because it's like, ooh, child, I just don't understand.
You're singing the end of the Jefferson.
Yeah. Not to make light of it, but I don't get it. I think I'm a pretty smart chick.
Yeah.
But this baffles me. But the only conclusion I can come up with is that it's taught. Go on and get you a white man. Don't matter what kind of white man he is, just go on and get you one.
Because I can tell you here in the DR, that is exactly, and I can't say all, but a majority of the women think like that. If they had a choice between a Black man and a white man dressed exactly the same, just like the baby doll test in Brown versus the Board of Education, they are automatically going to assume the white guy is the more financially stable person.
Jeez. I mean, just look at her face. She's got a big, giant, beautiful smile.
Beautiful Kenyan smile. Beautiful.
Yeah, it looked like she's a happy woman. This is probably his mug shot, but I would have ventured to think he looks like that every day, unless there's a plate of ribs in front of him. But
real quick though, who was that host on The Real? Lonnie Love. She's got a white man that doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, she probably making,
Well, she was. She ain't got a job now.
I'm gonna tell you this. My best friend's mom said many, 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 many years ago, if I'm gonna buy a man, it's gonna be the one I want. Okay. And I don't know Lonnie Love's situation. She probably got a little bit of self-hate going on too. It sounds like, I don't know. I don't follow Lonnie Love, but if she is taking care of a white man or any man for that matter, it's probably the one she wants. And that's what her money is buying her. So if that's what she's doing with her coins, then I can't tell her not to do it. You know what I mean? If she's happy, then so be it. Because just talking about Lonnie Love buying a white man, hell, there's a lot of sisters out there paying for her man too. Ray Ray and Pookie ain't seen no parts of a job.
Yeah, exactly. Paying for Ray Ray and Pookie because, like I said, I hear brothers that talk about, she buying me nights. The women are buying them clothes because they want them to look a certain way and all this stuff. It's just crazy how the roles have been reversed in the Black society, and yet women are still complaining. Okay, Demetria, we get into it all the time about that. You can't have it both ways. You can't be strong and independent and then want to talk about this dude that ain't got no job that you allowed not to have a job and accepted him from where he was at. I'm not saying I'm not making an excuse for the men, but the point is everything was good in the hood until you caught him cheating with your girl Shakari,
I'm surprised you could say Shakwakwa. So we're going to move on to the next segment, but I would just want to say this about Miss Irene. I really do, with all of my heart and all the prayers that I can send out into the universe, hope that she is okay, because I just, like I said, I have a daughter and I couldn't imagine her going somewhere, and I cannot imagine the horror and the torment and the grief that her family is going through, hoping and wondering that she's okay, but somewhere in the back of their minds, knowing that it's possible she's not. And so I say this to anybody, okay? Whether you over in, the land of Oz. I don't care where you come from, okay? Please. Like, I don't do internet dating at all. And I would never do internet dating. I would just say, be careful. Use wisdom. You know, meet these people in public places, and if this shows up, tuck tail and run. Ain't nobody gonna be mad at you. Tuck tail and run and be like, the devil is a whole lie. I am not kicking in with you. You know what I'm saying? And also, you know, because people could be anything they want to be, but court, ask questions, vet people as much as you can. And, you know, I would just imagine that Irene saw some signs with this dude, which is probably why she kept breaking up with him, if that's the way it went, because she saw some things that probably terrorized her. And then, you know, the one last time it was too late. So just, y'all, just use caution out there, please.
And last question. Other than the policemen asking for tips and putting up "Have you seen me" on their website, are they doing an active investigation in regards to trying to find this? Because it seems like whenever there's a white woman missing, all money and resources are used. Helicopters, dogs, thousands of people in the community searching in woods and playgrounds and stuff like that. In regards to this young woman, is there anything actively being done?
Well, I mean, they got the man, you know, that more than likely did it. You know, I don't know for sure that he did it, but I'm saying more than likely did it. So I think if they really wanted to, you know, was interested in trying to figure out really what happened to her, I think they would bring him in and detain him. But the other thing is, how long has she really been missing? Because the last time her family talked to her was February 24th. And then it went all the way into March. And then it sounds like in May, they brought him in for questioning. So she really could have been missing, you know, anywhere around February. So that's 6 months to this point. So where is she? Where did he take her? Where did he bury her? So it's really cold at this point. And when I'm saying cold, the case is really cold as to where she might even be completely decomposed at this point, you know? So anyway, prayers for Irene and her family. Hopefully she is found, and if something happened to this woman, that this thing is brought to justice. No more bacon for him. So anyway, y'all, Donovan, what is this? What we're going to talk about men dating younger women.
Okay.
Is that something that you give me your thoughts about men dating younger women? What is your initial thoughts?
Well, my initial thoughts is, okay, biologically, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Now, I don't want to be like in an R. Kelly situation. I'm not talking about like an R. Kelly situation.
Wait. Let's clarify.
Yeah.
We ain't talking about nobody underage. We're talking about younger women, roughly around, 20s.
Yeah. So I just want to clarify that. We're not talking about anything like that. As adults in the dating world, biologically and how we're made to men. I can only speak on men because that's what I am. We can, have children up until the time we're dead. Okay. And that's so that we can propagate the species, right? Of human beings. Women have a time clock. There's only a certain window you can have. And I know we've got technology that's making women have babies longer and all this other stuff. You got to have the money to do it, but you can have, and you can do that. So from the time immemorial, this was made in our species to make sure that the population continues no matter what. So let's say a man is 20 years older than the woman. That's not an uncommon thing, because if you look at some of our grandmothers back in the day, I'll give you a good example. My grandmother was 14 when she had her first child. Okay. Married the father and everything like that. I don't know if it's shotgun wedding, whatever, but married the father, whatever. And in a lot of Southern towns, you always see these, big age, not big age gap, but there's a significant age gap between, the father and the woman. And, and for women, I was under the impression that it's always good to have children between the years of 19 and 26, 27, because, you're young, you're strong, and, you're fertile and all that other stuff. As you get older, your eggs, decrease and all that other good stuff that goes along with it. So I don't think it's unusual to do that. To me, it's unusual when you see an older woman with a younger man.
Okay, so I'm just writing my questions down. This is really just an interview with you at this point, okay? what are some pros and cons? Give me the pros of date an older man dating a younger woman.
Okay, you want the pros of that. Okay,
Pros.
well, the pros of it for the man, it's an opportunity to, relive his youth. I would say, if you're looking at it like
Explain
that.
that. Explain that.
Well, reliving your youth is like, okay, like when you get a certain age, right? So let's say I'm dating women my age. They've had children. They're more experienced. They're seasoned. They're very seasoned women, right? And of course, as women age, they put on weight. They put on that woman weight from the baby, and just basically aging just like men, we put on weight. So when you get a younger girl and you're seeing like this really tight body that isn't surgically enhanced, we're talking about natural women, for a guy, to be able to do that, let's say you've been with your wife for something years, you break up or she passes away and you get a younger girl, it's like, wow, that's like a plus. It makes you feel young and energetic and all that other stuff at the time. So,
okay. That's the only pros from dating a younger woman?
Well, that's one of the pros of doing that. And then you get a different perspective of what's going on in the world of the younger people. So, if you're dating a woman that could be the same, I see this a lot, same age as your children. So, I got some buddies that dated, and married women that are the same age as their older children, in that age group. Happens a lot. They get a perspective of that. It opens your horizons a little bit because they want you to do this and listen to this music or do this dance, whatever. It makes you that youth thing. But all in all, outside of the sexual nature of it, I don't really see a lot of benefit other than you really have taken on a third or fourth or fifth child, because this woman doesn't know life experiences yet. She still has to go through a certain tracks of her life. And to me, that's a lot of heartache for a man.
What's the pros of a younger woman dating an older man?
Financial security, stability, direction. And just life experience. He just has a lot of life experience. There is no negative, in my opinion, for a woman who dates an older man compared to a younger man. They're more stable in regard.
Okay, what's the cons of dating a younger woman?
What's the cons of dating a younger woman? Foolishness, financial ruin, constantly teaching. You're constantly teaching things. You really can't enjoy going through the life struggle or going through life without a clash of identity and roles. It's going to be a constant clash of roles.
Okay. Well, I've never been, I've been young before. And I'm young now, damn it. I'm young now.
Yep. Yeah. To Methuselah, you are very young.
Well, you better be happy we're on this thing because I'll flip you the bird. But yeah, so I never dated an older dude as a younger woman. I just never have. I think every time that I've dated someone that we've been around the same age, never dated a man that was significantly younger than me. Don't think that I ever could. Under one circumstance, but I'll probably get into that a little bit later. But a lot of times I hear older men talk about dating a younger woman. Oh, she's malleable. You can mold her and you can shape her and, in a sense, raise her, right? But then I often hear about older men complain about younger women because, well, she just doesn't get it. Oh, she's this, she's that. And the perfect song that comes to mind, one of my favorite groups, Steely Dan, the song is called Hey 19, okay? Yes, and I wish I could play it, but I get a copyright strike.
We just can't go on.
Yeah. Hey 19. So he's basically saying, and one of the lyrics in the song is, Hey 19, that's Aretha Franklin. So he's basically saying, you don't even know who Aretha Franklin is. Like, you don't know what I know, is what he's saying. So in the song, it's like, but he says, we have nothing in common, although it's probably cute. Now, mind you, this song was written years ago. So, and a lot of songs, for whatever reason, talk about dating a 17-year-old or a 19-year-old. That was just kind of the thing. I guess it's weird, but it was a thing. So he's basically saying, for the reasons you listed, yeah, you're cute, nice, hot, tight body. You're going to jiggle a lot. And when you laugh and talk. But other than that, we don't have anything in common. You don't know who Aretha Franklin is. You don't know anything that I know. Where I am, it's going to take you 20 to 30, maybe 40, depending on how old to do this, years to get there. And where you are, I was there so many moons ago. And I don't want to equate experience to being wise, because there's a lot of experienced, stupid people running the planet. But I love that song because it's saying it's a good idea in theory, and probably because I'm a horny old dude. But if I'm really trying to build something with you, we really don't have anything in common. So I don't know.
When you date a significantly younger person, you're not going to be able to build with that person, because that person wants to do the same thing you did as a man when you were younger. You want to party, you want to smoke your weed, you want to go hang out with your friends. We weren't building at that time until life got serious for us. And I'm going to tell you, the modern woman, and I'm going to use that term because that's the term everybody's using, the city girl montage that is going on, the Megan Thee Stallion, get the bag and whatever. Whenever. Like I'm here in Dominican Republic, and I feel like a victim here, like a mark. No, you know what I mean? Like a mark, like I'm a target just to, take my money, and, they don't really care about me as a person or how I think or what I want to do. They just want to get the money and go about their business. There's, they don't care about the future. And you see these young girls getting their nails done here. And it's funny, I'm in this town, and they get their hair done. They get their nails done. They like to eat nice, expensive food. And that's pretty much it. And then when you ask them for an accounting of their money, not that, you would do that, but if we did, they wouldn't have anything to account for. There's no savings. What is that? So you really can't build with these young girls. Like you said, it's fun for the moment, but no, like I'm 52 years old. I can't see myself dating I could date a girl 20 something years old, but I can't build with a person like that. I mean, relationship, it's not going to work for me. I've come to that realization. It's not going to work. Demetra gave me some great advice. She said, go to the VFW with your old military ass and find you, the one that's, she might've been rode hard and put away wet, but she's got experience like I do.
She's faithful.
Right.
Faithful. Go to the senior citizens home, and, you parade your bald head around there, and, hey, Gloda, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? She should appreciate that.
Right. We can talk music, we can talk actors, and we can, and it's funny because, like I said, you could sit there with somebody your age. Younger people ain't talking politics like older people talk politics. They don't know what's going on. They just go from job to job, and I'm gigging. And here's my greatest pet peeve when it comes to young people. Even if I did date a younger girl, this is what it would look like, Demetra.
She on her phone all day long.
All day long. Huh? What'd you say? Huh? Can't do it. Can't do it.
And I pulled up the lyrics. Hey 19 is a song. Y'all check it out. It is awesome. I'm telling you, Steely Dan is one of my favorite groups. I got a chance to go see them in concert. My daughter took me for my
24th birthday, something like that.
You know what? For my 40-something, 6th birthday, 45th birthday or something. And it was one of the best concerts. And they did perform Hey 19. And the lyrics say, and I won't read them all, but it says, Hey 19, no, we can't dance together. We can't talk at all. But he says, please take me along when you slide on down. Like, I'm cool, to hang out or whatever, but we don't have anything to talk about. And then he also goes on to say, Hey 19, as I was saying, that's Aretha Franklin. She don't remember the Queen of Soul. And he says, it's hard times befalling the soul survivors. She thinks I'm crazy, but I'm just growing old. You know what I mean? And so, because I like to get the story behind the lyrics. And Steely Dan, they're really good with kind of explaining their lyrics. Although I haven't researched this one, but I would imagine as they're having a conversation, she's probably like, yeah, Aretha Franklin, this song, this, that, and the other. She's like, hell, oh my God, no, that's, I don't, but instead he's like, she thinks I'm crazy because maybe I'm bringing up the stuff she doesn't know. But he's like, the fact is, I'm just growing older, and not only just growing older, but there's such an age gap to where, I can understand why she probably wouldn't know who Aretha Franklin is, because it's not who she listens to. It's not her world. For me being an older dude, I know who Aretha Franklin is because that's what was going on,
Right.
popular when I was a kid.
Well, what about a great example is this? You see these kids twerking to a song and you say, oh, that's James Brown. They take the samples and the kids think it's a brand new song. Like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. They're like, no, that's the Spinners.
Right. So I would say, dating somebody, and it's really not even just for men, it's for women too. I think as an older person, I guess is why I'm getting to why I would never date a younger guy because I think when you're older, you have to realize what your function is in dating somebody younger. If I was a date a younger guy, and I'm 51, so let's say younger, like some guy in his 20s, and I don't know how or I would do anything. My nephew's sons is what I call them. They're 30 almost, but I would know that I'm not dating this man for husband material or even boyfriend material. I wouldn't expect for him to, I'm going to sit up with you and we're going to watch the Golden Girls every day. And honey, I done made some beans, some chili.
No, not Golden Girls. All old people like Matlock. Everybody loves Matlock.
He ain't. I know it's probably gonna be cute for a minute, and he'll probably try to prep the role. Like, yeah, I'm gonna sit up with this old ass woman, and we gonna eat buttermilk and biscuits and watch, whatever the case is. But after a while, he gonna go do what 20-something-year-old men do. The problem is the same thing for men. Y'all men, not all of y'all, I'm talking about them over there because I know how y'all get it up in the comment section. Some of y'all men are delusional. You think that I'm dating this young chick and she's here because I got a groovy bald head and I ain't got the 6-pack no more, but I got 1.5, so she's here for me. Nah, boo-boo. She there for you a little bit, but she there for the money. She there for that access. Yes, that big giant wallet you got there, your wallet, okay? Because we know in other areas y'all own Viagra, so she ain't really necessarily there for that. She there for your wallet. She there for the access and the opportunity. Most younger women who date a younger dude, she ain't talking about, oh my gosh, I just love him. He's so considerate and nice. She's talking about how, yeah, I went to the mall, I got these clothes, and he, spent the bag on me, he flew me here and he flew me there, and he's doing. That's what she's talking about. And that don't make her a bad person. Just like it don't make the young dude that I would fictionally date, it don't make him bad for hanging out with the homies and not, missing an action, because that's what they do. They're not like we try to make them companions, and they're not companions. They are maybe a good romp or two, that was fun or whatever. But after that, because I used to watch more in Jerry Springer and all that, and you see these old ass broads on there who are like, I just don't understand why he's sleeping with this woman and he's sleeping with my best friend. Okay, Gloda, how old is Ray Ray? He's 22. How old are you? I'm 59. And it's like, did you really expect this man to be your husband?
I mean, you hit it right on the nail. I mean, it's just a sad thing, But the funny thing is, I'm not saying it's distinctly United States that do that, because as the internet has come and people are looking at other things, it's affecting other cultures. But I think in regards to how younger women relate to older guys, that city girl mentality, it's cremated in other cultures now. But like here in the DR, it's not unusual to see a very older man dating and married to a younger woman, but that's been going on down here for thousands of years. That's just the culture, but it's changing slowly now. It's changing as we're in a global economy. Like I said, economics is the basis of, and it's so sad. You can't marry somebody who you love now. It's more so you have to marry somebody that can economically support you. You know what I mean? Or you guys can build together. That's like part of the decision process. When we were coming up, it really wasn't. If you love that person, you loved them and you struggled together, going through the beautiful struggle. Now it's like, well, he only makes $46,000. These delusional women. Well, how much money should he make? 6 figures.
I'm like this. I don't care. I feel like I got something in my eye, so forgive me while I'm playing with my eye. I don't care if the man is making $46,000. I care about if he can keep most of it. Now I know you got to pay bills and stuff like that, because there's a lot of men who are making six figures and are broke as hell because they cannot keep the money. They live in this lifestyle. They got the car they can't afford. They hide it at their mama house and everywhere else. Or, they got these nice watches and shoes and clothes, but it's like you ain't got no money in the bank. So I don't have a problem with you making 46,000 or whatever. I don't have a problem with you making 36,000. But I want to know if you're frugal with your money, because I'm frugal with my money. So if we can put those two, our incomes together and build something so we don't have to work as hard or whatever, I'm cool with that. Because, at my age, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll marry a millionaire. I don't care if I do it. Like, it doesn't do anything for me if I'm marrying somebody with money. I've never been on that page. I care that if you got some sense, if you're going to treat me right, and that you are responsible with the money you have. Because I'm not trying to be out there working 9 to 5 and, all these long ass hours. Yeah, I'm getting old in that respect, right? But I just think that we should be realistic, because we waste time when we're not realistic. And what I mean by that is, if you are an older woman or man and you out there chasing the young Thundercats, and then mad because they not trying to settle down with you, they run in the street, steal and all that, that's your fault. Be realistic. They somebody that maybe is closer to your age, and they got, listen, I know there's women and men out there 70 years old still running the streets and stuff, running around giving people venereal diseases and all kind of stuff. But
come over here, you're going to see a whole fraternity of these old goat men.
Trust me, I was over there with you, and I saw it. I'm like, I know damn well at least 1 or 2 of them 20 men over here got a woman at home, probably going to be over here catching all kind of stuff, and then go back to their wife talking about, yeah, we had a nice guys trip, but ain't going to tell them, because I seen it with my own eyes and just didn't tell on y'all. I saw it. Y'all was booed up with them young women, It
was the Men's Friendship Fellowship service to make us stronger and better men.
Yeah. Okay. Right. But be realistic. Be realistic that if I'm all right, and I'm just putting myself in the shoes of an older dude, which I don't try to do that often, I want to date a younger woman. But per the pros and the cons that you laid out, I know we're probably not going to be on the same page with anything. We're not going to ever have a conversation outside of the latest Gucci bag or where are we going next, or you're not going to be able to talk to her about world affairs or any of that kind of stuff. And so as an older man, you say, all right, well, then the other side of that is she's young, she's hot. My older cue ball dudes, they look at me like, damn, he's got him a nice, trophy, and leave it at that. Don't be expecting her to do, because you want the younger woman, but you want her to come with the older woman vibe. You know what I mean?
You get the younger woman as an arm trophy. That's pretty much it.
Period. Don't make her nothing else. Don't try to make her into the housewife that's gonna fold up some clothes, because I have a friend that has a friend that left his wife for a younger woman. He's like almost 40. She's 25. And it was cute and it was fun. Oh, gosh, she just wear me out every night. Oh, gosh. But then now it's that they're coming down the hill is she don't cook. Because now he's got to spend money with her, because they done moved in together. He downsized completely, right? He's left his wife, so he's got to pay the bills over there still, because all the mortgage and the boats and everything is still in his name with his wife. They got kids. But now he with this younger woman. The newness is worn off. She don't cook. She don't clean, but she want the ring. She's like, when you gonna get her ours? And so he laments to my friend about, man, she don't do nothing. I'm spending all this money eating out. She lazy. And it's like, I said, can you tell him from me, through you, that's what you get, you big dummy. What do you think a 25-year-old is gonna do other than, screw your brains out and then make you and DoorDash you to death? What else?
You never knew the grass is not always greener on the other side.
So now he's entertaining, wanting to go back, and I'm like, how cavalier of him. After he done had his romp or two with this chick for 6 to 8 months now. Now you think your wife wants you back after you done left her for what you thought was the optimal choice? I'm like, but he's not rare though. There's a lot of people, men and women, who leave their sure thing that they've been with for 20 something years or whatever for this thing that's, and that's what I get in my mind, a young thing that's just jiggling and giggling, but it's like, she don't even know how to boil a pot of water.
Right. And boil an egg, it's so sad. But as an older man, one of the fears that I have if I was when messing with a younger girl, whatever. Okay. Now, when I was a young man, I went through a horrific experience. It was called child support. It was horrific. Okay. Why would I put myself in a position to go through that experience again? I mean, I made it through the first time, but there's no guarantee I'll make it the second time.
And that's the other thing that I'm glad you brought that up, because I forgot. Yes, to your other pros and cons. Yeah, y'all can reproduce until you're damn near dead. You got one foot on the banana peel and one in the grave, and you still producing. The other thing is, I think y'all need to tell y'all little older homeboys is, yeah, we kicking it with this little fine, young, tender thing. Oh, yeah, you put a seed up in her. Do you think because you old that she ain't gonna want no child support? You will potentially be paying child
support. No mercy.
Not at all. Okay? You're gonna be paying child support until you die with this young thing. They're like, oh gosh, you brought your great grandpa to the graduation. No, that's my dad.
Oh my God. And God forbid you have older children, which most of us do, and then you have a younger child. In a lot of women's minds is the older children are gone. And so the younger kids should get all of the assets and the thing because they're the last ones, kind of in the tube. But yeah, I mean, I think of that when, whenever I'm like talking to younger girls or younger women and I'm trying to, that's the only thing I literally think about that. I was in the sports bar last night. I heard this song by Mystical, Danger. And that's all I was thinking, looking at these beautiful young girls. Because I said, all it takes is one slip up, and I am going to go with the city girl mentality that these girls have. And I thought it was bad when we were coming up, Demetria, in the 90s, when we were young adults and stuff. Because I had to go for a baby. So that's a little bit different, my circumstances with that. But it was so horrific for me. These girls have no intentions of getting married in most cases. They just want the bag. They just want you to support their lifestyle, to get their hair done or whatever. And that's where your child support's going to go to. Negro, have you not learned anything in all of your wisdom as an older person?
And that's the other thing too with my friend's friend. They've had a few pregnancy scares, and it's like, it can't be that good.
I would surely castrate myself and have to go through the child support nightmare that I mean, God forbid, I wouldn't want to wish that on anybody else that I went through, and I made it through it. But to go through that again, I just can't do it. And then now I did an audit at a child support office in downtown Riverside. You could pay your child support even by check, mail, payroll deduction. They take Venmo. I mean, all of that shit. You have no excuse why you can't pay something on your child support.
They gonna get their money, but those are just things that people really should think about when you think of, I want to date somebody younger. Now, I said there's one situation where I would date somebody younger, but I ain't date nobody up in their 20s. I mean, maybe late 30s, but yeah, some of them is fools too. So I don't know about that. But only way I would probably do it, and I'm saying I would never do it, is that I'm the sugar mama, driving the Cadillac, and I got a ring on each finger, and I'm like, baby, where you want to go eat today? Be big mama, because I know that I'm gonna be the sugar mama. You know what I'm saying? I know what he there for. I know it's gonna just be some physical stuff. So I would, not that I'm just saying hypothetically, because Daddy, I know you watching. So, but I'm saying, I would know that would be like I'm gonna be a sugar mama, right? I know he's not gonna take care of me.
That's the arrangement.
Yeah, I'm gonna take you to the, you're gonna be able to get out, not kids menu.
Pay to play. Pay to play.
You can order something off that's not on the kids menu. I'm gonna pay for it. Yeah, you can get you a dessert, sure. But I know dessert is coming later. And I ain't got to worry about being with an old dude talking about, well, I would love to, but, somebody ain't participating right now. I'm just saying, I know that's the only reason I'd be dating him. I mean, for real.
Yeah, it's you know, it's so sad, but I'm telling you where I'm at right now. You got some old goats, and I'm not talking about greatest of all time. I'm talking about these guys literally look like goats out here preying on these young girls, and I'm just looking at them like, and you know, and they're just thinking they're having the, you know, oh yeah, we got it going on, brother. Enjoy it while you can, because if that girl gets, if you're smart enough and you're not using your real name, you know, you're doing it the right way, you'll be good. There was a brother, seriously, we were talking last night at the bar. He was saying he's like Muhammad Ali. He just wants to stick and move. I was just like, and he's older than me, and I was like, really? And he probably has daughters, and that's his mentality.
And that, and so to leave up out of here, and I want to say once again, I hope that Miss Irene Gakwa is found safe. And if she's not, God forbid that, and the guy's name is Nathan Heitman. I should have told y'all that. Nathan Heitman. I hope that he is brought to justice and held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. But in closing, I would like to say this: there could be no city girl without an old pervert. Okay, could not be, because in case in point is Puffy and one of the city girls he dating. Puffy is 9,000 years old, and this child is 3. And ain't no way she gonna be with him if she wasn't who she was. Let's just keep it real. So y'all talk about the city girls and the material girls and all of that. Well, if y'all stop leading with y'all wallet, they would probably disappear.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Because like I said, here, you see these guys dressed down in the nines, got their chains on from Philadelphia. It must be an East Coast thing because I'm from the West Coast. And they look at me like, dude, you move a little bit different. Yeah, I wear my military, this is name brand shit. It's just shit you wear, right? And I just watch these guys just having a good time. And I'm just kind of like, well, I'm not leaving here broke. Y'all can have it. I know what's going on here. So it's like, you got to be smart. Men, brothers out there, especially younger brothers. Hey, there is nothing wrong with settling down, finding you a woman, a good woman, settling down, getting married. I mean, if she's getting a little overweight, go to the gym with her. Walk with you, do those things together. That's a great thing. And guess what? Instead of wasting your money at the nasty kitty down the street, take that same money and flash it in front of your woman. She's gonna give you the VIP treatment. She will.
Let's just say, hey, baby.
Exactly.
While you're down there, rub some Bengay on my knee.
Yeah, but that comes with the territory, Comes with the territory.
All right, y'all. We out of here. We love and appreciate y'all for being here. We'll see y'all on Wealth Wednesdays with Walter. Walter said he is going to be in the country. He is leaving on Thursday. So stay tuned for that. And Donna, if you want to drop on in, if you ain't doing nothing, let me know. I'll send you a link or whatever. And so again, we have a Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. If you want to donate to the channel, think about becoming a member. At the very least, like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Love and appreciate y'all. See y'all later. Have a great rest of the day. Peace.